Welcome back in, Strategy Gamers. This is something new for the channel. It's not going to be a long series, just a couple of issues. This is the Last Starship, recently released into 1.0. That's from Introversion, the original guys behind Prison Architect. It has a similar kind of visual vibe. There is a story. We will play through the start of the story. I've had to play through the opening part of the game myself. You can do mining, you can do industry, you can be space Uber, you can be haulage. There's a lot of different things you can do. You get to design your ships. It is the 23rd century. Humanity has colonized the stars. Millions now thrive on distant worlds, living hundreds of light years from Earth. Space becomes the new frontier. An era of unprecedented exploration and expansion unfolds. Powerful corporations dominate entire regions, but beyond their reach lies uncharted territory, filled with untold mysteries and boundless opportunities. The CEO of the Interstellar Mining Corporation has issued a daring challenge: build a Stargate powerful enough to reach our nearest galaxy. With trillions in funding up for grabs, the stage is set for fearless adventurers to forge their own path in the cosmos. Will you rise to the challenge and chart your own course among the stars? Sir, yes sir. It's not our ship, this is a shuttle. It's going to zoom in now on our ship. And here we are, arriving at our ship. Everyone's ship is the same. We're going to skip the tutorial. If you want to play the tutorial, go play the tutorial. Other people have recorded this. I'm going to not waste everyone's time with that. We need breed. So we need an air duct, which requires an oxygen loader. There are cables and pipes. Cables move power. Pipes move liquid, oxygen is a liquid, fuel is a liquid. How do we get power? We need a reactor. It needs a fuel loader. Fuel is a liquid. It needs a cable. Let's get everyone starting to move all that stuff around. And then we can get going. Okay, oxygen level is coming up. We have started here. The map is always different. There are the 15 locations, there's shipyards, there's colonies, there's going to be mining locations. This is different every time around. The gas isn't great on this, which is frustrating. I'm not even sure this shipyard will count as being in the nebula. Hopefully the colony does, because you want to be able to park up in a gas field and be able to generate Metreon gas so you can generate your own fuel. Now, we are going to do the main mission. In order to do that, you need to have the drone bay and at least one logistics drone. We're also going to accept some space Uber. So they're going to NG7, they're going to NG6. Let's have a look. NG6 is over here, NG7 is over here. So I'm going to take which is going to pay more is the first question. NG6 is paying 42, NG7 is paying 57. I have enough cabin space for both, so I'm going to accept both just to get us started with some money. We can't take the other jobs. We don't have any weapons on board, so we can't go and destroy these pirates. We don't have thrusters to be able to go collect these people. Thrusters allow you to align up and dock with the ship so you can get them off the ship. It's reasonably difficult. I don't think 2 thrusters are really enough to pull it off. Now, in order to be able to actually bring anyone anywhere, we need fast and light travel. So we require a fast and light drive and some FTL charges for us. Let's install that in the ship as well. Cable, so it's got power. Let's put our FTL storage around us. I'm going to move our fuel storage to be around the fuel loader, getting rid of this fuel storage. I don't want the spacesuits to be there. I want oxygen storage to be around the oxygen loader. I'm going to move food storage to be back here because I plan to make this a hydroponics area. And I then want to set this area over here to be any cargo, logistics drones for this corner area, because this main game mission, which you do not have to do, it. You can just fly around. You're able to have more than one ship. You're able to create ships that are just mining for you. You're able to create automated ships. But I am going to play the main mission here. Install a drone bay, have at least one logistics drone is the requirement. So let's go do that. 1 drone bay, 2, hopefully I can afford a second one of you. So then we're going to install it right here, which requires cables. Perfection. I want to start scrubbing CO straight away. So I'm going to get a CO output right here. It's a cable. And I want a tank to put that into. CO2 is a liquid, so it goes in there. That can be converted to oxygen using the air processor. There isn't one here. Another thing we can potentially do right away is sewage pipe from the accommodation to make sewage. So if we look at recipes, water comes from wastewater in a purifier. Wastewater comes from sewage. Sewage comes from a sewage pipe. There's recipes, you can kind of create chains. Let's have everyone move everything around. There's our passengers. We need to make sure all of them board. All of them have boarded. Brilliant. Done. All on board. All on board. Now, notice that we get this little blue. If this shows you that you have a mission already in this sector. So NG6 might be a useful one for us to go to second, having already bought a mining laser after we get the turn in from the first mission. We have 46,000 bucks. I want to give us a bit of a buffer on food. I'd like a bit more buffer on fuel. I'd like a bit more buffer on oxygen. We have a lot of passengers on board. I can't afford all of this. There we go. Let's get that over. Let's plan our mission. So I think it is NG7 we're going to go to. Prepare to jump. Now, you can fly to any of these places and it costs 1 FTL charge. Going from here to here doesn't take less energy, less fuel, less FTL. Going from there all the way to there, same as going from there to there. We have to, our ship needs to be aligned and we can make the jump. We can then start turning in this contract. You'll get some money for that. We can have a look at what exists here. There's a courier mission to bring just some supplies to NG5. We have plenty of space on board, so we might as well accept that. And here is the main mission of the game. Commander Harkin. Captain, I am the security for this sector and I need your help. All across the sector, there are people in trouble who need our assistance. The contract's interrupted her. We got 50k. We got some humanitarian rating. She should now pop back up. I'm spread too thin. I can't be everywhere. You're more than capable. I'll be there to offer advice when I can. If you choose to help, I've marked the locations on your map as gold highlights. Thank you, Captain. If being the operative word here. So these are these three over here. We do not have to do these. We do not. However, I am. Now, I am going to grab the scoop. I want to start generating, and I can only afford a small tank. Is that correct? Can I get a big tank? I can't. Can I sell something to afford a big tank? Small tank will get me one. And install the huge tank beside it. And that's a liquid, so it needs to be connected with a pipe, and then it requires powering, which will just run through the center of the ship. Then give me a second here, and I will run power through the whole ship. One moment. All that is cabled up. We have accepted our first contract. We have completed our first contract, in fact. We have another transport mission. Where are we going? 13 to NG3. Paying not a lot of money. 28 to 9. Let's have a look at the sector map. How useful is 9 to us? It's got a shipyard, so it's potentially useful. If there's nothing blocking the run to Wolves and Sheep Clothing. I think let's not have extra people. Yeah, go on. We need the money. So, let's just run these guys over here. Everyone's on board. All the cargo's on board. Make our jump. Turn in the contract. There's a delivery job, which we'll take. Make fuel. Do combat missions. So, we'll ignore those. We'll get our crew off the ship. We will buy more FTL. Buy more food. I'll buy more water. Can't afford all this. Well, I'll be able to afford it. I just haven't been paid yet. Also interested. I can get a sewage pipe here. I could get an air processor, but it's quite expensive. There we go. We've been paid our money. We can buy all that. Now, the sewage pipe has to be underneath where people live. So right here will be. So we can put sewage pipe right here. Now we want a tank for this, so we sold our small tank. Pipe, 41k. Look, we have 200 isotopes in here. So we look at the recipe. FDL charge is made in the chemical lab from helium crystals, which you have to mine, and hyperspace isotope. That's what we're generating from this. Helium crystals, smelter made from ore. So we'll definitely want to get mining going for that. One moment. Then I'm just going to quickly do these little runs, and then you will rejoin me when we do wolves and sheep clothing. I just want to get some money going. This is basically how you should start again. We have 68k, so there's two things we can start developing now. One is air reprocessing to turn CO2 back into oxygen. Show you that recipe here. Then the main way wants you to make oxygen is from the oxygen maker from water, but it is possible to do from the reprocessor as well. This station doesn't have one, so then the other early development thing we can do is the waste treatment. There is one of these. I think we'll queue this up. I'll show you what we can get from that. So we can make water, which requires wastewater, which comes from the waste treatment from sewage, and another output from it is compost, which we need to with water and seeds in the hydroponics. So we'll grab a wastewater. I'm going to install that back here, and we're going to need, I think, some storage for this. Sewage in, wastewater out. Medium tank for that. So now we have compost going in, wastewater coming out. Compost will also get generated, so we need storage for compost. Grab all this here for now. So have a quick look if there is hydroponics. There is. Is there seed? There are. Hydroponics. Up, then water needs to be connected. Ideally, this would be connected on the next stage of the waste treatment. Okay, that'll do for now. And our next money exists down here. Make the jump. Turn in the contract. Have a look what new jobs exist here. Absolutely. We already have a passenger delivery. We now have a goods delivery to the same place. So that's brilliant for us. Then another courier mission to 6. So that's perfect. And then we don't have the space for any more people. So let's speed up time. Get that delivery done. Loading, unloading, get paid. 32k. We now have waste treatment, creates waste water. Water purifier is the next stage, which is 40k. We can't afford that. We need to do our next job, which is bringing a bunch of people in 6. Everything's on board. Make the jump. Turn in 3 different jobs here. One of the things I'm going to grab is a battery, because what's happened here is we've lost power because we are in swapping over fuel. So I want a battery so that we are a bit more redundant. Speed up time. Load of passengers to leave the ship. Some cargo to leave the ship. 91k added to our bank. And we can now afford the water purifier. Install the water purifier. And it's wastewater there. There's no harm having some tank redundancy on all of these stages, especially the water stage. There's some spare water. You want wastewater. Wastewater from here to into the tank, from the tank into the purifier, from the purifier into a tank, and then into the hydroponics. We have compost. Let's put seed storage here as well. Oh. Why is that not working? There we go. Now it's connected up. Wastewater is getting turned into water. Water is then going into the hydroponics. Now, if you look back at our recipes, one of the other things that we were able to think about was oxygen. Oxygen required water to an oxygen maker. How much is the oxygen maker? 30k. We have the money. Grab that. And we also, while we're here, need a bunch more FTLs. We can install oxygen maker over here. Actually, we will install the medium tank here and the oxygen maker beside it. Requires cable, pipe, water, and oxygen. Onto that real quickly, reinstall it. I want this to be an oxygen tank. The water needs to bypass the entry point. So the tank should have been installed basically the other way around, so that line could have run straight through. So now we're able to make oxygen. So we're making our own oxygen, we're making our own food now. Not enough, we will need more. Let's look at the contracts. We will absolutely accept courier missions. Mining would be a great thing to start thinking about. Or we grab anything that's not a courier mission. Let's progress the main story, which is wolf and sheep clothing. So just wait until we got all of the cargo on board, then we can make the jump. Actually, before we do that, let's grab some more drones now that we have a bit of money. Okay, they're on board. Make the jump. We also now have 1500 hyperspace isotopes. We need to do mining before we can actually make FTLs. Go view. Bit of time. Commander Harkin, my name is Commander Harkin. I'm the Chief of Private Security for the sector. You have found the remains of the Interstellar Prospector. Please bring its black box flight recorder to me and I'll explain more. In order to collect the flight recorder, you will need drones launched from a drone bay on your ship. If you don't already have this component, to have this equipment, you'll need to buy at least one drone bay and at least one logistics drone from any colony or shipyard. New objective, recover the flight recorder. Boom, done already. Now, let's have a look. Tactical. I think there's a couple more items that we can recover from here. Your bodies. Bodies aren't bored. Can't recover bodies. No, actually, it doesn't look like there's much more loot here. That's boring. Okay, you've recovered the flight recorder. Bring it to me. I'm on board the Vanguard. Sending our location now. New objective, return the flight recorder. We have 6 FDLs. We have a delivery mission here, and she is all the way over here. So let's just make the jump. Deliver flight recorder. Bit of time. Thank you for returning the flight recorder, Captain. We are in the grip of a major crisis. Commercial vessels laden with valuable cargo are being targeted and destroyed. These vessels are under our protection, but often lack any serious defenses, and barely have a chance to send out a distress call before they are plundered. This is a calculated assault on the free market trade and industry within this sector, and cannot be allowed to continue. I'm sending you the coordinates of 2 more stricken vessels, pinpointing their last known locations before they went dark. We need you to travel to the wreckage of each of the ships and collect whatever evidence you can. The primary objective is the safe recovery of their black boxes flight recorders, which will contain a log of their final movements. Here are the coordinates of the 2 shipwrecks you need to visit. The objective: the Celestial Hauler, the 4th vessel to be targeted, managed to send out a distress call. Local security forces responded too late and found nothing but the destroyed fuselage with a presumed loss of all life. This is the only image they managed to send before the transmission went dead. The wreckage, which is the forensic evidence of their fate, was collected and taken back to system NG6, where it's currently sitting in storage. We need you to send a ship to collect that wreckage and bring it to us along with the recovered black box modules. Happily. I'd like to acquire some contracts to go there first. Bring all the recovered wreckage and the flight box recorders back to me for analysis on board my ship, the Vanguard, to complete the contract. So we have job to go to 0 and 3. We now have job here. We jump. Meteor shower, not ideal. We could take some damage here, so let's be quick about this. Infinite Horizon, that's one of the goals. Yeah. Oh, direct hit. 7% damage. Those 2 missed us. Come on. What's wrong with our fuel? Pause. There's a bunch of things we can recover here. I don't think we want to hang around too long because of the meteors. We've got the flight recorder. Gonna hit pause, have a quick gander. Like, there's some fuel, some scrap, explosives, storage. The other guys go out. They got the main interesting stuff. Oh, did we just get hit again? Okay, I think we've got all the really interesting stuff. Let's buggy out. We have a delivery at 0, and if required, we can do some fueling there. Our drones. Oh, another hit while we're waiting for our drones to be recovered. Align. Come on, before we get hit. Oh, we got hit again before we could jump. We've taken 450 damage, and it costs us 30k to repair. We can't afford that. Let's see if our drones can do some repairing for us. Turn in this contract. See if the drones can lower the cost of this repair at least. Drones look like they're doing a full repair. Not quite, are they? Drones got us down to 113 damage. 12k cost to repair. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, we'll pay it. Yeah, let's see if there's any contracts here. There is some courier missions. We'll absolutely take courier missions. 2 of them are going to the same place. Yeah. Then Uber 10 for 20 isn't great. They are both going to the same location. That's 60. NG6 is where we need to go for one of her parts, isn't it? Collect the wreckage from 6. So we'll do this one. Let's get everyone on board. And we still have... These are both for 11. Take the better paying one. We can take both. Perfect. Let's get them all on board. We'll hit 11 quickly, then we'll hit 6. All on board. 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 Quick check of trade. Was there anything interesting here? Seeds. Grab some more seeds. Grab a few more FDLs. I think we're good on everything else. Everything's on board. Make jump. Turn in 2 contracts. Have a look what new contracts exist here. NG0, NG6. That's going to NG6, so we want that. That's going to 3, less useful for us. That's going to 6, that's perfect for us. Okay, we've been paid. Our humanitarian rating goes up. Gonna buy a smelter. Gonna buy a mining laser. And then we can't afford a chemical lab. But we can start. It's called Tilium. And storage. Great. We required an engine from that ship that we rescued. We acquired an oxygen maker. We've just bought a smelter. So we're going to put a smelter right here. And put a storage crate beside it. Mining laser on the outside. Okay, and we'll set that to Tilium ore. And then we also have some scrap metal that we can process down. And we will make our jump. We have a load of people and a mission over in 6. Jump. Turn in. Collect wreckage. Turn in. Turn in. Commander Harkin. They're sending the recovered wreckage to your ship, the Proclean cruiser now. Captain, it will arrive by shuttle. You will need to store it somewhere on board. Once you've collected all the ship wreckage, bring it along with the flight recorders to me. I'm on board the Vanguard. Sending our location now. Return the wreckage. There's all the passengers leaving. And we get paid a chunk of money for them. Now our mining laser requires powering. Okay, we still have a chunk of the wreckage to be brought on board. Or at least basically put in storage. Check the missions here. You're going to 0. You're going to 5. Well, we'll grab courier missions anyway. You're going to 5. You're going to 0. I have courier missions to 3, 0, 3, 5, 11, 11, 7. Could take these. Okay. I'll take the 5. Then you're going to 5 and you're going to 0. And then I'll leave this 9 courier mission behind and this 7 because I suspect I won't have space, especially with all of... Yeah, I'm out of storage, so I need to build more storage. Let's temporarily create any storage over here. Okay, let's check. So firstly, this is all on board. All on board, all on board, all on board, all on board, all on board. There's urgency in this one, so we want to go to 11 first. Let's go to 11. And make jump. It's just an easy way to make money. Now we've so many jobs we can't actually even see them all on that screen, but there's our 2 for 11. Got a bunch of gear out of here. Check to see if anything is going where we're going. So 0, we'll take 0 missions. Bullets, I don't have the ability to make bullets yet, but it's an easy mission to take. Turn in that contract as well. Low on water, so even though we're starting to make our own, we've got a bunch of passengers on board. Now we're also, let's increase our cargo space, sorry, our habitation. Must visit the shipyard to do this, fine. Okay, now I wanted to be able to make FTLs. So it requires a chemical lab, Tilium crystals, trade, chemical lab, buy one of those, install it, cable, boom, pipe, set it to FTL. So it's getting the I've got a couple of crystals and it has some spores. I'll then trade for a few more Tilium ore. Well, I'm going to go mine some now in a minute. Let's get to the next part of the main mission. Where are they? They're over here. We can do a bit of mining while we're here though. Speed up. Incoming. Got my hands on something you might be looking for. A recording of the screams and static from the ship's final moments. You want it? I know it. Scavenger's Rights says it's mine. Lucky for you, you can have your precious data so long as I get a finder's fee. Cross me and it will be the last mistake you make. Why have I flown right past? Okay, I need to pay them 20k. I have the money. Funds received. Pleasure doing business. We'll drop the flight recorder at the cargo hold and be on our way. There it's there. Got. And then I suspect they've stripped this. They haven't quite stripped it bare. Move in a little closer. So what are we grabbing off it? I think it's probably mostly scrap. So set this to scrap metal. Okay, then there's mining available here and we want Tilium. Precious ore will make us a good bit of money. Tilium ore. Why is our power down? Presumably because we switched over a fuel load. We're now starting to make FTLs. you shooting at? You appear to be hitting weapons, mining laser, hit the Tilium, please. Okay, now starting to hit Tilium, fast forward, back in a sec. This will take a while. Okay, we've been cutting it fine. Our power situation isn't great. We're now low on oxygen, fuel, and water, and a bug. So this mining contract, we have to return to a colony or shipyard. Any to do it. And you want to go to 5, you want to go to 3, 5, 0, 3. So 3 or 5. There's 3. Go to jump, immediately buy fuel, buy water, buy oxygen, turn in jobs. Okay, bunch of money made there, bunch of jobs completed. You want to go to 5, that'd be cool. Get some more mining jobs. Hurry it to 9. Don't have 31 captains free. System are you? 9. Prepare to jump. Turn in the contract. A minute to pull this off. Contract completed. Mining, courier. Sector is this. This is a shipyard sector, I think. Home brings you back to your ship. 34k, we can fit more passengers. Make explosives. Well, we don't have gas yet, so we can't. I could buy gas, I suppose. One of the things we can now trade is sell precious metals. We acquired some on that last run. And we have ship wreckage. We do have mainly ship wreckage. If we have any Tilium more, process it. And ingots we'll hang on to. Making a bit of hydroponics. Get another one and some seeds. Try you here. Then pipe in the water. Okay, so that makes us a bit more. A lot of water. We have a second oxygen maker that we've got from a mission. Install it and try and turn more water into oxygen. And we need to start generating fuel, which requires gas. Now, I'm not sure this sector is the best for trying to generate gas. Okay, turn in 3, 4 contracts. We'll get to the main mission now in a second. You're going to 0, and I think I already have work at 0. I'll take that. You just want copper ingots. That's pretty easy to pull off. And you're a courier mission. I'm not rushing to 7. Oh, you're both 7 though. No. You need to progress the main mission. Trade. 5U. Change you from that to copper. Oh, I've already done the copper job. Okay, cool. Actually, what you should be storing is helium crystals. Okay. Prepare to jump. Buy some more seeds. Buy another mining laser. Buy another reactor. Actually, more importantly. So let's get a second reactor. Throw it up here. Get a second mining laser. And then we'll go deliver all this gear. Need this to get installed. Okay, generating more power now. Make the jump. Deliver. And we should get a massive chunk of money for this now. I think I've got all the flight recorders and the wreckage she wants. Wreckage has to be shipped across. There goes the 2 flight recorders. Leveling up our logistics. There's all the ship wreckage. More logistics leveling. And there's the call. We've analysed the black box recording and the evidence is already pretty clear. There's a pirate vessel out there somewhere preying on high-value commercial vessels. They wait in silence until the ship is alone, isolated and defenseless, and then they come out of nowhere and attack without warning. Before anybody can respond, they destroy the ship and loot the cargo. Most likely to be sold for vast profits to the Stargate Project, who don't seem keen to ask questions. So far, they haven't left a single living witness, but the sensor data tells the full story. We've managed to extract another sensor image from the attacker. It's another grainy photograph, but what we can see is that without a doubt the vessel is responsible for all this death and destruction. We need to find a way to track them down and destroy them. We'll be in touch soon, Captain. In the meantime, we suggest you tend to your ships. If you take damage, you can repair the hull at any shipyard. Use the funds we've sent to upgrade your defenses. Episode complete. Wolf in sheep's clothing. And there's 200 grand. We will end our first episode there with the completion of the first part of the story mission. There is more to the story as it progresses, and we will continue to develop our ship-based economy here as well. Thank you for watching. I'll be back very quickly with the next one.